Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away.
Sounds great.
Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Absolutely. I wanted to use this class to focus on a community issue I'm really passionate about. I really care about this earth, and I want to do everything I can to help preserve it and preserve its natural habitats. And so I'm really into recycling and just the whole reduce, reuse, recycle movement. I come from Albertville, Minnesota, which is 3 hours southeast of here, just down I-94. And our community is a very green community. We reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as we can. I wanted to take that philosophy into Fargo with me, and I thought that this class would be a great vehicle to do that with. And so this whole semester, the first half of the semester, I really focused in and researched on the different types of plastic bags and how they infect our environment and what we can do to lower that number of plastic bags.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Absolutely. So, halfway through the semester, I switched from focusing on recycling as my community issue and reducing the amount of plastic bags used in the Fargo-Moorhead community. And I switched when we got our group project and changed my community issue to focusing on the lack of voting, particularly on the behalf of millennials. And I'm really passionate about this issue because this is my first time voting, even though I've been eligible for the past 3 years to vote. I just figured my vote didn't matter. And so after doing research and reading up on surveys, I realized that my vote really does matter. And so of course I went out into the polls and voted this election day this year. And my group and I wanted to use our speech as an opportunity to discuss the importance of millennial votes, and so we used our speech to call them forth to action to go out and vote. If not in the next short election, for sure in the next presidential election in 2020.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
So working with my group was actually really great. I really loved it. And I believe that it would be a pretty fair consensus that my biggest strength is my delivery method. The way that it's something about the way that I deliver. I speak clearly and fluently when I prepare a speech, and it really just helps carry the message across. And that's why we decided that my two other group members would introduce the speech and deliver the first two main points, and then I would deliver the call to action, which was asking millennials to go out and vote, as well as the conclusion, to really hammer in our message and hope that it goes home with them through a confident delivery method.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
So, working with my group was great, but there were some challenges. The biggest challenge that our group faced was getting together and piecing together our speech. We were all very busy at the time of the semester that we needed to develop this persuasive speech. I was just finishing up a week of doing the musical on campus and was just heading out on a week-long band tour for which I was constantly playing concerts left and right and did not have time to, I wasn't even on campus. I couldn't meet with my group. So we ended up doing a lot of our work over Google Docs, which is a great tool for group work, especially for groups who struggle to line up times that they're free to meet. However, we did need to meet at least once so that we could practice our speech together in handing off each section to our other group members. And so we ended up doing that about 3 days before the delivery day, which was cutting it a little bit close, but we managed to make it work and everything worked out for the best.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
Yeah, so Com 110 was actually a really great experience. I'm kind of bummed that I waited until senior year to take it. I've just had a really busy schedule. But my biggest takeaway from this semester is the importance of just your overall presentation. Everything from your dress to your body language to how you deliver what you're saying and the material of what you're saying. It all, like, that's how people read you. It's unfortunate that some people will have really great speeches on paper, but their delivery is just so poor that the audience zones out and doesn't really hear the message. And so Com 110 has really taught and stressed the fact that the delivery of the speech needs to be well done in order for the audience to hear your message.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably
Absolutely.
be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so.
Sounds
care.
great. Thank you. You too.